on the screen. I've drawn kind of what you have as best I could on this thing. So I'm going to give you some clues. Your joists are always going to go, span the shortest distance you can make them. So you might want to have these partitions above, which are shown by those dashed lines, which I've kind of shown here. So in order to support those partitions above, you're going to have some beams, which you'll draw right below those partitions. So you're going to draw like, oops, see I can't draw straight, but it's going to make it straight for me. Yay. You draw a double line of some beams or something like that. And then you don't necessarily have to have one over here. The most logical place to have a beam would be right up the middle. So you kind of find the middle point and draw a beam all the way up there. And that would probably be like 2 parallel lines. To support that beam, however, you're going to need some post. So you'll probably need some post, right where it starts. I don't know if I can zoom in on that. See if it'll make me a circle. That didn't work. Hold on. Anyway, you're going to have a post there, and then maybe one in the middle somewhere. And then up here, probably, right under that part. And then your joist will only have to span from there to there. So you can figure out the sizes of that. And you'll draw your joist, starting at one end, whichever end you choose, up here, and then space them however far apart you decided to, 16, 18, or 24. And then, of course, when you get here to the stairs, you can't have joists going through the stairs, so you'll have to have some supports, some double joist around the stairs, and then your joist will end at the stair, and you'll draw the little joist hanger that it shows in that. It's hard for me to draw at this scale, but you'll draw that there. Does that help? Yeah. It's okay to what? You'd stop them at the fireplace, because the fireplace will go up typically, the whole, see if that straightens out. No? Okay. The fireplace is going to go up through the whole structure, so this would actually stop right there. I drew that incorrectly. I don't know if I can erase it. It would actually stop at the fireplace. And then your other stuff would butt into the fireplace, whatever joists are down here. So I'll let y'all work a few more minutes on that. If you're looking at, again, you got your beams, and your joists always run perpendicular to your beams. So if you have a beam here and a beam or a double joist there, then your joists are going to always, these are run perpendicular to that. So it's always going to run perpendicular to it. And they're going to be even spaced. I can't measure it on here because I haven't figured out that's wrong. Okay, and then over here it's going to cantilever out over this part, whatever joist you have in this area, and then there's going to be some blocking to keep bugs and varmints from getting in there between your joists. Okay, so y'all need to finish this up. I want to make sure I go over these others so you have a little bit of time on them. Page 2 of the exercise, don't do that. Cross that out, big X. Okay? Yeah, this one with the details, we're not going to do that right now. So, the next page, it's talking about roofs, and I sort of went over that in that, looking at this page right here. Different shapes roofs, and then, so the exercise part is over on page 43, and what I want you to do is to study these two examples below, then draw the roof plans and thumbnail perspectives, meaning they drew little pictures there of how that roof would look, and you can see the slopes. So you want to figure out different ways you could make this L-shaped building with roofs at a pitch of 8 to 12. The pitch isn't necessarily so important because when you have the same pitch on your roof all the way around, all of the things will meet. So the only reason you would need a pitch, to know the pitch in a plan view is just so that you would have it there, but you would need to know an elevation view. So for instance, let me slide down here and show you, I'll just draw this real quick. See if it straightens out for me. Nope, it didn't. Oh well, that's okay. But you want to start thinking of other ways to do this roof plan. Thinking about how the roofs slope, and so you might have one roof that goes like that, and it'd be like the slope would be down that way on both sides. In this plan, we're looking at it from above. And so for your thumbnail sketch, if you can figure out how to, that part's pretty difficult, but I don't really expect y'all to be able to do that actually. But if you were looking at maybe an elevation view would be better. So you draw a line for your ground, and then you would be looking at this roof, and it would slope down like that. So that's just one slope of that roof, and then the same thing over here, it would slope down like that.
And that's for which roof?
You're just supposed to think of different ways these roofs could work. And you got 10 choices. There's 10 ways it could work. So you just want to draw different, on each of those plans, you want to draw a different way that the roof could work, and try to show me in an elevation, or if you can do the little 3D sketches like they've done on the first two, then you can do that. It's just figuring out how you could plan your roof with the slope. You always want the slope, you don't want slopes going in, or else you'll have water. So the slope's always got to go away from the roof. So if you had, I'll draw one that's incorrect. I can. So, if you had a roof like this, that could be right if the slopes were going that way, because they're sloping away from the building. But it would be wrong if your slopes were going in. Why would it be wrong? Right. Because if you looked at that in elevation, that roof would be something like that. Yeah. So you wouldn't want that, would you? So you got to think about, you want it to be more like, you want your walls straight, but you want it to be a pitch. And that would be indicated by the arrows going that way. Okay? So for your homework, you finish working on these in class, and y'all can work together. I just want you to finish your the framing plan, and then give me some options for this roof. And you got about 10 more minutes, so I'll be here to answer your questions. Finish working on it, and if you finish it today, show it to me, and I'll give you credit. If not, I'll look at it Wednesday.